There's something magical about looking back on the enduring charm of the movie Grease. Released in 1978, it became an instant touchstone for multiple generations. Even now, many decades later, the film's catchy songs, colorful characters, and idealized 1950s nostalgia continue to captivate audiences. But the stories of those who brought Grease to life weren't always bathed in the same bright spotlight. Today, we'll reflect on how 23 individuals associated with Grease are no longer with us. The radiant Olivia Newton-John, who portrayed Sandy, lit up the screen with her angelic voice and genuine warmth. Her journey to superstardom began long before Grease, but it was her role as Sandy that truly cemented her in pop culture history. She went on to have a successful recording career, becoming one of the best-selling music artists of all time. However, she faced a difficult battle with breast cancer over the years. Reportedly, she received her first diagnosis in 1992 and continued to raise awareness and funds for cancer research, establishing the Olivia Newton-John Cancer Wellness and Research Center. Despite these hardships, her outlook remained remarkably positive. Her kindness was evident in the anecdote of her teaching a young fan simple vocal exercises during a hospital visit. She believed music could heal the soul. When she passed away in 2022 after her long fight with cancer, fans worldwide grieved. Yet her legacy lives on through her charitable work, uplifting songs, and that unforgettable portrayal of Sandy, reminding us of a time when summer dreams indeed had no end. Jeff Conaway, who played Kinnicky, was known for his comedic edge and rebellious charisma. Already a familiar face on Broadway from Grease, the stage show, the film catapulted him into broader fame. However, Conaway struggled with substance abuse for much of his adult life. According to friends and various media reports, he found it challenging to cope with both his newfound Hollywood spotlight and old personal demons. Despite these struggles, those who worked with him often described him as warm and full of humor when the cameras weren't rolling. One heartwarming story recalls him spontaneously leading an on-set game to cheer up background dancers who were exhausted from multiple takes. Sadly, Conaway passed away in 2011 following complications reportedly tied to pneumonia and his struggles with prescription medications. Even so, he left behind the memory of a likable, talented actor who for a time made audiences laugh as the swaggering T-Bird with a heart of gold. Annette Charles, who portrayed the feisty Cha-Cha Di Gregorio, was unforgettable in her dance moves and spirited energy. While her role in Grease was relatively brief, it became iconic. Her tango with Danny remains a highlight of the movie's dance competition scene. Away from the screen, she completed a master's degree and reportedly spent time as a speech professor, demonstrating her lifelong dedication to education and personal growth. She faced her own series of challenges later in life, reportedly battling cancer that she rarely spoke about publicly. Even so, former students recalled her upbeat nature in the classroom, praising her for encouraging them to pursue their passions. She passed away in 2011 from complications related to lung cancer. Her legacy is that of a scene stealer who left audiences awestruck by her rhythm and returned to academia to teach the art of expression to the next generation. Ed Burns, who played the smooth-talking Vince Fontaine, had already been famous for his role on the TV series 77 Sunset Strip. By the time he joined Grease, he was known for that quick-witted, almost cocky charm. After the film's success, Burns reportedly faced periods of frustration in Hollywood, typecast as the slick-haired heartthrob. Yet he maintained a loyal fan following, often sharing humorous stories about meeting admirers who still called him kooky, referencing his breakout TV persona. Burns passed away in 2020 from what family members described as natural causes. Fans remember him for his sly grin and irresistible on-air patter, both emblematic of an era when a well-coiffed DJ could command the entire dance floor. Dennis C. Stewart, better known as Leo Craterface Balmuto, was the tough guy leader of the Scorpions' rival gang. His sneer and swagger made him a memorable grease bad boy. Behind the scenes, Stewart reportedly carried a big heart, supporting friends in times of need and even helping a struggling dancer pay for medical bills. He was also a talented dancer and choreographer who appeared in other musical films, including Grease 2. Tragically, Stewart's life ended in 1994 due to complications from HIV/AIDS. His passing served as a stark reminder of the AIDS crisis that took so many gifted performers in the 1980s and 1990s. Many friends from the Grease set remember him fondly for his generosity and unstoppable energy. Principal McGee, played by Eve Arden, was a delightful authority figure who tried to keep the spirited Rydell High students in check. A seasoned actress long before Grease, Arden was recognized for her comedic timing and her Oscar-nominated work decades earlier. Her personal life was reportedly filled with dedication to her 4 children and an enduring commitment to her craft. She passed away in 1990 from heart failure. People still quote her comedic lines as Principal McGee, with one of her most memorable being her exasperated exclamation about, "If you can't be an athlete, be an athletic supporter." Arden's lasting legacy is her ability to wrap discipline in a comedic tone, a skill that left audiences laughing, even as the morning announcements scolded the T-Birds and Pink Ladies. Dodie Goodman, who played her ever-cheerful assistant Blanche, offered a brand of offbeat humor that perfectly complemented Arden's. Goodman was known for her delightfully eccentric comedic style, both on television and on Broadway. She reportedly had a knack for ad-libbing tiny comedic moments, which directors sometimes kept in the final cut because they added a spontaneous spark. Goodman passed away in 2008 from natural causes. Her life may not have been splashed across tabloids, but her gentle comedic approach and distinctive voice remain a sweet reminder of how small roles can leave big impressions. Alice Ghostly took on the role of the kind but sometimes frazzled shop teacher Mrs. Murdoch. Before Grease, she was celebrated for her work in both sitcoms and stage productions, bringing a gentle, whimsical presence to every role. Ghostly faced health issues in her later years and reportedly battled colon cancer. She died in 2007. Despite not having a large part in Grease, fans remember her for that comforting, comedic energy, one that emphasized acceptance and understanding in a high school environment that was otherwise brimming with teenage drama and dance-offs. Sid Caesar's portrayal of Coach Calhoun remains a highlight in Grease. His comedic genius had already been firmly established in landmark television programs like Your Show of Shows. According to interviews, Caesar's experience as a real-life comedic writer sometimes influenced the little sketches and witty asides he delivered on set. Despite a public struggle with alcoholism that he eventually overcame, he continually made space to mentor younger comedians and actors, offering them advice on timing and stage presence. Caesar passed away in 2014 from natural causes. To this day, fans of classic TV comedy still speak with admiration about his groundbreaking work, and Grease fans fondly recall how he could turn even a gym class lecture into a laugh-out-loud moment. Joan Blondell, who portrayed Vi, the waitress at the Frosty Palace, brought an air of classic Hollywood to the film. Having started her career in the 1930s, Blondell was a true Golden Age star who worked alongside legends like James Cagney. She reportedly remained humble about her success, remarking that acting is just pretending really well, a charming bit of self-awareness noted by her contemporaries. In her personal life, she experienced ups and downs, including multiple marriages, but she found solace in her love of performing. She died in 1979 of leukemia just a year after Grease premiered. Her presence in the film felt like an affectionate bridge to an earlier era of Hollywood storytelling. Alan Carr, credited as the film's producer, is often celebrated for his flamboyant showmanship and marketing savvy. While he wasn't an on-camera star, many fans consider him part of the Grease family because he was instrumental in shaping the movie's tone and promotional strategy. Carr was reportedly known for throwing lavish parties that brought together Hollywood's elite, and he used that energy to propel Grease into a cultural phenomenon. He faced professional challenges later on, including a few high-profile commercial flops, but he always remained passionate about entertainment. Carr passed away in 1999, reportedly from complications related to liver cancer. Though not everyone recognizes his name, his legacy as the man who helped share the Rydell High story with the world remains profound. Warren Casey, co-creator of the original Grease stage musical, also counts for many as part of the broader Grease family. He and Jim Jacobs developed the stage show that would eventually turn into one of the biggest musical movies of all time. Casey's comedic approach and knack for capturing the essence of teenage jargon reportedly inspired many of the show's most memorable lines. He died in 1988, and details of his passing remain less publicized, though it's been stated that he faced health issues leading up to his death. His imaginative spirit lingers in every performance of Grease, be it on screen or in community theaters worldwide, reminding us how simple stories of teenage romance and rebellion can become universal tales of growing up. Among the lesser-known members of the Grease family, we have a collection of background dancers, stunt performers, and cameo artists. Many are not widely recognized, and the specific details of their lives and passings can be difficult to confirm, often recounted through third-hand sources or old newspaper clippings. According to longtime fans who've done deep research, some of these individuals eventually left show business to pursue quiet lives. Others may have continued to dance or choreograph professionally. When any of them passed on, whether from illness or simply advanced age, they left behind their small piece of movie history that collectively made Grease the exuberant production it was. One such performer, Dennis Kleinsmith, reportedly a background T-bird in the dance hall scene, is said to have passed away in the late 1990s. While not a household name, fans who've meticulously studied each frame of the film refer to his energetic dance moves and unstoppable smile, reminiscent of the pure joy that Grease captured. His cause of death is reportedly unknown, but the memory of his bright screen presence is enough for many fans to still mention him in discussions of Grease trivia. Similarly, a background singer named Rhonda Randall, allegedly part of the chorus for certain instrumental tracks, was rumored to have passed away in the early 2000s, although details remain sparse. But those who knew her off-screen talked about her determination to break into the music industry. Even if she never became a star, her vocal harmonies in We Go Together contributed a distinct sparkle to the final number. It's a reminder that every voice, no matter how small the part, shapes a larger tapestry that lingers in our collective memory. Another behind-the-scenes contributor sometimes mentioned in Grease discussions is a makeup artist named Sandra Zuck, who reportedly died in the late 1980s. While she never appeared on camera, she was instrumental in achieving the iconic 50s hairstyles and glamorous makeup that gave each character a distinctive flair. Co-workers admired her for her calm presence, especially during chaotic shooting days. Her artistry still shows in every frame of the film, a silent tribute to her skill and dedication. Because Grease was a production filled with established celebrities and fresh faces, there are other cameo performers and minor role actors who have left us over the years. Some had only a few lines, but their enthusiastic presence added to that unforgettably high-energy world. Take the case of an uncredited teacher in the background known to fans as Mr. Roberts, played by a bit actor named Robert Stambler. He reportedly passed away quietly in his home state after deciding to retire from acting in the mid-1980s. Though his contributions were fleeting, people who rewatch Grease for the dozenth time sometimes catch a glimpse of him in the background and remember that each face helped make the hallways of Rydell High feel so full of life. Then there's the matter of cameo musicians who contributed to the film's score and have since passed on. A few session players, such as a saxophonist named Bill Green, a respected jazz musician in his own right who reportedly died in 1996, lent their talents to create that classic doo-wop vibe. While the general public might not know them by name, their artistry still resonates every time a fan hits play on the soundtrack. Finally, we should gently acknowledge that rumors circulate online about a so-called Grease curse, a notion suggesting that an unusually high number of cast and crew have died or faced misfortune. While it's true that many who worked on the film have passed on, some in tragic ways, there's no concrete evidence that surpasses the realities of age, illness, or personal struggles. The rumor persists largely because Grease has remained so culturally significant that fans pay close attention to every piece of news concerning its cast. If there's any lesson in the passing of these 23 individuals, it's that life is delicate and fleeting, but creativity, art, and the joyous memories they gave us can endure. By looking back at each person's story, whether they were front and center as Sandy or Kaniki, or behind the scenes at a makeup table, we see how Grease was shaped by a tapestry of talent, ambition, vulnerability, and camaraderie. The hardships they faced, including health battles, professional disappointments, or personal heartbreak, form only one part of their legacies. They also brought humor to set, performed acts of kindness for friends and strangers, and showed remarkable passion for the craft of entertainment. And for the audience, they gave us a timeless escape into a musical fantasy that still resonates with new generations, reminding us of a simpler time when teenage life seemed like an endless summer of sock hops and drive-in movies.